Hey guys, welcome back. It is me, it is Sean here again to give you another episode. And it has been a while. Guys, you know how long it's been. It's been too long. It has been, I don't know, I think it's been maybe somewhere between a month and a half, perhaps, maybe 2 months since you last heard from me. It's not that I don't like doing this. I like doing this. It's just time. Sometimes, between work and play and family and whatever, it's not easy to do this. And, a lot of people, it's funny. Nowadays, every person has a podcast, right? Everybody. Now, believe it or not, I've been doing this since, let's see, I think it's been about 20 years. I'm going to give it a good, it's actually been over 20 years. I started podcasting before podcasting was a phrase that was termed. I was doing this type of talk radio, and we just call it talk radio, but it was over the internet. So we had something called, it was a Real Player and Real Player G2 or something like that. Real Player. So this was back in the 90s, and they had some software, and this was, I think it was the first of the kind software to allow you to, hook up your radio show into the internet. So we were actually one of the first shows in Canada utilizing this technology. We are probably the first live to internet broadcast in Canada at the time. I was the technical director of a radio station that made that happen. Now, I'm not going to get into that further because I probably mentioned it a bit. And, the real topic here is welcome back. And as I said, yes, I'm getting back into it. Nowadays, I see these guys. You will see somebody talk about, like the most random guy, random Hollywood, random singer, random 80s ex celebrity that fell off the wagon and now is doing a podcast. And you see it so often, but you look at it and you go, how is it so many of these podcasts from all these relatively unknown people with all this, snazzy stuff? I tell you, I mean, when I do this, if I have to come up with descriptions and tags and even what I'm talking about, I mean the graphics, I mean everything's done by me. I can't get even people in my family to help out, right? Like, a lot of people know how it is. So it's quite different when you're hyping your podcast, but you have 20 to 30 people working on it. Maybe you have 10 people working on it, but shit, you got a lot of people. You have somebody that found your topic, basically wrote your script, wrote your key points, coached you, brought in, whoever you're going to talk to, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, it's one of those things, I guess it's at a money making level where people are throwing in thousands of dollars per episode to make a podcast. And you know this because half of these big podcasts, if they're making money, they're spending money. Half of these other guys, come on, you're doing shit. You're doing it for shits and giggles. You look at YouTube, and these guys are talking about making money on YouTube. But meanwhile, unless you're one of the top 1%, you're not making any money. No, nobody's making millions and millions. There's a dozen guys making millions and millions of bucks on YouTube. The rest are making a few grand here and there. Um, you know, if you're making 20 grand off of YouTube or 10 grand off of YouTube a year and you're, I don't know, leasing sports cars, I don't know what the fuck's going on in this world. Anyways, let's fast forward and back. So I don't even know, did I get into this yet? So I am back, kinda, right? Everything was complex, and this is not easy when you're a one-person team. If somebody had everything set up for me, like some of you big guys, and they said, "Hey, here's your topic, here's your seat, here's your studio, and go for it." I, geez, I would be a billionaire right now, but that's not how things are done. So I have things to do. Life happens. And meanwhile, while I was working on doing this maybe once a day, I said, well, if I could release an episode a day, it'd be great. And I'd wake up at all hours. I do stuff, in between. meals or in between work or, but it takes a toll. It's a lot of work. It's not easy to do that. So in doing that, it's just, you get some burnout, but I was doing good. Here's what happened, and I'll rehash this probably somewhere else as well. Okay. So I have or had, okay, I have it. I have a F1 podcast. And so, every so often I was doing a bit of F1 as well, F1 news and whatever. I used to, do a bit of racing. My whole family's in F1. Why not? Just decided to do just a little podcast, especially from this side of the world. You don't see a lot of stuff, a lot of the North America, you see a lot of British, a lot of, European. So I said, let's bring this back. Let's do this. And it was going pretty good. We had the podcast, right? I had the YouTube going. And then one day I get a YouTube. I go to check my channel. It's been doing excellent. I was so hyped about it, got my domain registered, and YouTube pulls it. YouTube says Formula One licensing is not happy and wanted to pull your channel, and you can't appeal it. It's gone. Now, I know, yeah, there was a bit of, I don't know. They could be upset because you use some of their branding and whatnot. Now, there's no way anybody's confusing my channel with Formula One or whatever. But I think what happened was they liked the name, it made sense. And I think they're going to make a show based on my idea. And so I think they went after my channel to get rid of it because with that name, this is something that, hey, we could use this. So I bet you 100% they're going to just trademark the name that I had for my podcast and then give me a hard time about it furthermore on my podcast, right? It's crazy. And this is a big company. You know what? Listen, F1, why didn't you just come to me? Honestly, just come to me. Send me a message. You could add my information is there. Click on it. You just say, listen, we don't appreciate this, right? Can you make these changes? Or you could say, hey, we appreciate that you put so much work into it because you care about our sport. You know what? Here's fucking F1 hat, or here's a t-shirt, you know, sorry, close down your channel or some shit like that. Like, I mean, I can see if it was malicious and I set up a channel to destroy F1, but I mean, as a fan, you set up a channel and F1 is going to go and take your shit down and fuck you and whatever. So I wasn't happy with them. You know what? My F1 subscription came and I said, fuck you guys. I called them. I said, refund it. And I got a refund. And that's it. I'm not going to pay for F1 because, I mean, why am I going to pay for, to watch F1 when you're going to fuck me? So I'm just going to go pirate it. Fuck you guys. Anyways, so here I am, after that experience, it soured me, right? It soured me. I didn't want to keep doing this because, I mean, it's just a matter of time. Somebody doesn't like what you say, blah, 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 blah. You get demonetized, you get kicked off, you get this, you get that, whatever. You get no fun out of it, right? So this is the problem. I don't have, I'm at an age where I don't have time to make kick accounts and this account and that account or whatever, all these fucking streamings for Twitch accounts, make all these accounts that eventually I'm going to get kicked off of. It makes no sense to me. So fuck it. So here we go. Here I am. Welcome back. Let's see. Maybe I'll try to get a few things going. I have some gripes. I'm just going to fucking take some pot shots here in a few episodes and then we'll go from there. Hokey dokey. Have a great one, guys. And we'll talk to you later in following episodes. Subscribe and like and hug and kiss and high five and fucking everything, right? Come on, guys. Let's do it.